Okay, so your quick responses to what you saw. Anything, just whatever you felt, whatever you saw, whatever you observed. So what I'll do is I'm just going to play the video again. Just look at it from a different perspective and think about how does the sound, the soundtrack, the background soundtrack, how does it influence the drawing? So and how does it allow you to give a context? So that's the essence of the question. I'll play it again.
It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language they understand. Sport can create hope where once there was only despair. It is more powerful than governments in breaking down racial barriers. It laughs in the face of all types of discrimination. The heroes are standing with me are examples of this power. They are valiant, not only in the playing field, but also in the community, both local and international. They are champions, and they deserve the world's recognition. Together, they represent an active, vigorous Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame that goes out into the world, spreading hope, inspiration, and hope. Their legacy will be an international community where the rules of the game are the same for everyone, and behavior is guided by fair play and good sportsmanship. I ask you now to rise and join me in commending the original inductees into the World Sports Academy Hall of Fame.
Okay. Ahelia, would you like to go first?
Yeah, so I feel like having like some fact check, it gives a kind of narrative than to images that otherwise would just be like the sequential side of images. It gives it some kind of like story and maybe like just like I don't know, I feel like it just provides like some kind of like movement and like a narrative that then ties it together, makes it a little more like not rounded, but it just gives it another like element that then can be used to like fuel your imagination and create even like a narrative in your own head, but it like gives you more material to work with than just looking at images.
Yes, very true. Naina, your responses?
I quite agree with what Ahilia said, and also the fact that the background thing was on sports, but this whole thing was kind of like you're taking something off some completely different context and placing it with these images, and it gets a completely new context out here. And it's like, from valorizing sportsmen to like valorizing people who are actually protesting and stuff like that. So kind of ties together everything in a more coherent manner in some sense.
Yeah. So I agree with both of you, both Ahilya and Nana. The thing was, yes, Nana, you got a very interesting point, which that what I'm doing essentially is I'm taking a track from a different context and then overlaying it on a completely different context. The images were obviously not made with that intention of the kind of soundtrack or speech. So this is a speech by Nelson Mandela. So it talks about a completely different thing. The context is completely different. He is speaking at the induction ceremony of the Hall of Fame, which is, it's a sports community, and he's somebody who is associated with a different kind of revolution, a kind of revolution against apartheid. So of course he's talking about humanitarian values and the importance of this kind of community and the kind of building up an internal strength and things like that. Of course, it's a very motivational kind of a speech, and of course, the drawings are completely different. They were definitely not made with the intention of illustrating so-called any of these characters or these attributes, but definitely and of course this is the first for like the piece that I've created. It's basically a first take, and for me also I think there are a lot of loopholes in the sense that I would like to edit and reframe it. But keeping that in mind also, it's the arrangement also is not very illustrative, but then there is a kind of a rhythm that sort of develops with the music, of course, with the with a very sonic kind of very a deep throated kind of a voice that is resonating. So there's a kind of an echo that is being created, and it helps to make the drawings are very minute. They're very small size, so you can see in the visual, but it helps to sort of give them a much wider sort of a out wider kind of a quality. They look like they're like more powerful or more more heavy, and they're more like grounded, that kind of a so those layers get added. And what Ahilya was also saying, like it creates a kind of a rhythm, it creates a kind of a movement, and it of course engages the viewer at a different level, because to a different kind of an audience, to a general audience, a simple drawing may not be very engaging to start with, and even if you're talking about it in a very descriptive way, it might not be so much more engaging, or people might lose interest. So it's just about those kind of things, so bringing in more action, more movement, and of course engaging the viewers, and also not deliberately illustrating something. So of course there's a kind of a narration, there's a kind of talking about these kind of movements, and so that there's an obvious connection that develops. Anyone who hears the soundtrack and knows about Nelson Mandela obviously connects it through a different level. So it takes you from one point to you just jump from one point to different points, and that there's a kind of a connection, there's a kind of a relationship that gets established and reaffirmed through these through the connection between the visual and the soundtrack. Why essentially I'm showing you this is even whenever you may not think of a career as a visual artist, but even if whenever at any instance, if you're communicating visually, you can think about bringing in different layers of different kinds of things, just sound and text and video and your simple drawing. So your analog and your digital things can be clubbed together, and it could be a very interesting interface, especially now, because obviously digital reality is a very much present reality, is something that's going to stay for a long time for now. And it's got a lot of potential. So of course the connecting between the analog and the digital is much more interesting. I mean, obviously I could have just simply drawn it digitally, all of these drawings, and then I could have just imposed them, digitally manipulated them. But I think doing this analog and the digital thing is more interesting, because something midway, and it's something like there's a lot more possibilities. And there is also this feeling of trial and error, like it's not perfect. And I like that quality, because it's something that I could create like 5 different versions of the same thing. I could just rearrange the drawings in different ways, and I could choose a different track, or I could not have a track, and so the whole sense of the whole set of drawings or the video becomes very different. So it becomes like a very subjective take, and that's what I'm just trying to show you, that with your drawings you can do so many things. You can just play them, you can make them really performative, and there's a whole new dimension that you can explore with drawing. So what I want you to do is just take about 15 minutes and look through all your drawings, whatever you've done so far in the course, and think about just the ways in which you can connect them. You can just bring in random layers, just things like some kind of poetry that you must have enjoyed, some film clip that just has an impression in your mind, some speech that you must have read somewhere, maybe some algorithm, I don't know, maybe for Nana, maybe some kind of formula, some algorithm that she must have engaged with, and there's a connection. So I don't know, just think about those random things, things that you have engaged, and things that form your own course, like your own background, um, so those things, how can you bring those different aspects together in your drawing? How can you bring them? And so in your presentation, when you're displaying your digital portfolio, you don't necessarily need to talk about the materials or what you have done or the kind of processes that you've engaged with, but essentially you need to take an indirect course and talk through your talk about your drawings through different approaches or different subject matters or different kinds of things that can connect with the audience more easily. So that kind of an approach. So just take 15 minutes, look through all your drawings, and just make quick notes about what are the possible ways or what are the things that can possibly connect. So it's just a very random noting down of the points. Just jot down them somewhere, and then we'll discuss and we'll see what we can do. Okay. So I'll come back after 15 minutes. Naina and Ahelia, have you been able to figure out just any leads, any kind of starting point for your drawings? Naina, your responses?
I kind of have something in mind. I'm not too sure. So, basically, there's a poem by William Blake, which I was thinking I could kind of put that in along with a couple of quotes that I have read from like William Campbell and stuff. I was thinking, I'm not sure. And um, basically, it kind of goes along. So it's more of a so things I couldn't really relate all of them. They're all like moving and dancing and yeah. So it's kind of more since there's like some like sitting ones also. I was like, maybe I can kind of start off with like I don't know, that's making sense in my head. Like it's something in my head. I don't know if I can put it in words right now, but it's kind of like it's about human emotion, and it's about like first it's a little kind of sad-ish, like some I don't know how else to put it. And then the poem and stuff comes, and you kind of start like noticing the joys in life, and with that, even these images will start getting more and more movie and fancy and stuff. Does that make sense? Something in short.
I
That's
can,
kind of what I
yeah,
thought.
yeah. It sounds really exciting to me because that's the kind of response that I was expecting. You don't have to be sure of things. That's what is important. You really will be tentative, and you have to work it out. And it's like that kind of a thing. It's like you engage with certain things, and then you get more ideas, and then you move on and move on. And also, like what you were saying, that it's possible that you can record the whole those quotes or whatever, those kind of the entire paragraphs from poems or whatever, maybe in your own voice also, and put it as a backdrop. There's so many other things that you can do. So it's much better that you don't use ready-made stuff, like things that are already there. Like I have used a ready-made kind of a thing, almost just edited the music a little bit, made it like fast paced it, but that's it. But I've used a ready made, but that's not really the best option. It's better, it would have been better that if I had recorded in my own voice, I'd read a poem or something, and then that makes a lot more sense. So if you could do that, is much going to be much more engaging, it's going to be much more
I
exciting.
don't think anyone has read these. I mean, maybe they have, but it's unlikely someone's read them. I mean, it'll be easier for me to record it than sitting and finding something where someone
Yeah,
has spoken these lines.
that's perfect then. That's perfect because then you're adding also some new kind of a reference material for the internet. I mean, if you just post it anywhere, so that's more exciting. I think Naina, just start working on with some drawings. There are just like 2, 3 drawings or 4 drawings or whatever. Just make a start somewhere,
Now?
wherever. Yeah, now because we have the time. Just make a start. No, why I'm saying is it's also going to be because you guys are already stressed with your exam schedule and things like that. So it's much better to use the time that we have right now, and then I can also guide you like on the way. And there could be a platform and possibility for changes and suggestions and on the way. So just make a start somewhere. I know because the kind of exercises that we had done are more like it's more like about learning and illustrative and those kind of things. So they were not intended basically to you know to to explain or to lead as a project. So they were not very planned in that sense. But of course, as you're saying, you never know how you can just improvise it and use them, because the audience doesn't know what is happening. It's like your own planning and your own jugaad. That it becomes it becomes more interesting. And it's like that things are accidental, and when accidental things come together and there's a kind of an interplay, it's really interesting many of the times. And this is really the way most of the artists work. Even the greatest and the greatest of the artists have really worked with accident and design, and of course there's some kind of a planning and some kind of a maneuvering, but this works very well most of the times. So I just suggest, just make a start somewhere. Like like instead of the head, then it translates into a physical visual kind of a platform, so it's much more tangible in that sense. Yeah. Ahilya?
I feel like, yeah, I'm really not sure about anything, but I was just thinking, so my first assignment, the one where you let us choose words and then just create an image on our own. And then there was another assignment, I don't know if you remember, but I drew a picture of a little girl, like it was a baby picture of me
Yeah,
and
I saw.
just
Yeah.
recreated that. Yeah, so those two are very like dreamy and just more whimsical. And those were the first. Then there was a third assignment, which I have to redo before the presentation. But those three, the way I've drawn them, they look very dreamy and whimsical. And then we starting anatomy studies, and then the drawings are a little bit more bold and like they don't have that dreamy quality anymore. And then there's a point where with my GIF and then that imaginary friends drawing I do, I kind of oh yeah, so that assignment where we had to that assignment I have to redo also. Then it's about the struggles of people who are living very different lives to me and how their lives have been impacted by this crisis. And then at the end, I kind of think the imagination and those people, because I've used a lot of figures of workers. So those kind of things kind of combine, like the imagination, like the dreamy side of it, and um, like the harsh, like lived reality. And this is the only thing I could think of. I don't know how I'm going to make this come out in any kind of narrative, but this is what I was thinking of, because in the start it's like that and then it becomes a little less dreamy, and then at the end there's kind of like a meeting of those two, I don't know, maybe aspects to my drawing, or just, I don't know, maybe that's something that only I saw in the works. And I was thinking also the anatomy studies, obviously I present them, but maybe I could make a GIF as well, because with those kind of drawings, I think it could be quite striking. And then again, in the bodies in motion assignment where we created those two little videos, it made me think a bit like of, you know, what my like quarantine diaries would be, because one of them looks just like a girl getting up and stretching, and one is doing that asana, right? So I just thought it was kind of interesting, because those, compared to the other drawings I have of so many of these workers with all their belongings walking home, it's such different ways of living the quarantine. So I was just thinking of things like that, but I don't know how exactly I tie them together, but maybe if I like try to categorize my works into like different emotions, or just, I don't know, like made it a narrative sequence that would kind of make sense to a viewer. If I could think of some way to do that, maybe this could be something. But yeah, this is all I could think of.
Yeah, sounds interesting. And there's also kind of some kind of you've like also categorized it in two sections and the kind of things. I also think that earlier, since I think you're a literature student, probably, if
Yeah,
I'm not wrong. Yeah, so if I do not know, but those kind of references from literature that talk about struggle and labor and
yeah,
those could be, I mean, I'm not overemphasizing, but you could bring in and combine them with something more everyday, not something over emphatic, but something like
yeah,
everyday with something something more subtle and more political. Those kind of
yeah,
would be really nicer, because the kind of drawings that we have done is there's a range of things, like from everyday and
yeah,
something very objective to something more emotional and something more playful. So I
yeah,
think, like, just like in literature, you there's a possibility, and of course you understand much better than myself, that there's a possibility of bringing in different kinds of flavors of things together,
yeah,
and different ways of conveying the same thing, different kinds of vocabulary that you can use for the same thing, and the kind of impact that it
yeah,
can have on a visual. I think you can just play around those, also. That
yeah,
I think that can be really interesting.
yeah,
um, yeah, so those are just my suggestion, and overall, just for both of you, I think most of the times when people think about presenting something, they of course think about the PPT format, and of course that is definitely a very standardized format of presenting things. But I think there are different formats now. Most people have, of course, moved on to the video and to the more interactive kind of platform. Therefore, I have been obviously been talking more about presenting images in the form of GIFs or videos, and whatever I mean, you guys already have a set of those, like some of them, of course. And you can just combine all of these together in a kind of a montage where you have text and you have images, you have stills, you have GIFs, you have videos, those kind of experiential videos. So all of this can come together, and of course it requires a bit of a blending and it's more like doing and testing and doing and seeing it works or not, and then editing and things like that. But of course, I think just make a start somewhere. And ideally, I suggest that if you can keep it like as a overall as a video format in general. I'm saying video, animation, gif, or whatever format, so that because we obviously have plenty of time for the presentation, so that you can talk at you can present your work at an easy pace, because the GIF makes it much more capsulated. So you can have the GIF in some points, and then you can stretch time, like so. So we are also playing around with time and space. We're like compressing time. We're also stretching time. Um, you know, Symbolically. So those kind of things also you can bring in with your drawing. So it's much more subjective and very very conceptual. And of course, once you make a start, it becomes more easy. It's more easy to judge, and you get instant. You obviously learn and you understand. Like, there's an instant response that keeps coming from the visual that you yourself see, and "Oh, this is not working. I want to do something like this, or this works better." That kind of a judgment you will be able to make for yourself for sure. So I suggest Naina and Helia, let's just make a start somewhere, and let's just see a clipping of maybe what, a minute, or maybe 30 seconds is also good, whatever, just to start somewhere. How does it look like, whatever you've done, or even if some kind of a preparation, that you can that you're able to do. So I think let's just spend 20 minutes, and you could do all those kind of preparatory planning for your project, and I'll come back after 20 minutes. Does that sound okay to both of you?
That sounds good. I also just want to say, so I just saw your feedback on my assignment, and I did make all the backs. So yeah, I do want both sides to show. So can I send that in then by today after class?
Yeah, sure. That's
I'll
what
do
I
that
was.
again.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
background is like not great at all, so I need to think of something
Yeah,
else.
so that's why I was saying, like, because you already have, I've seen that, like, when you were working with me, I've seen that you've worked at the back as well, whereas in the image, it doesn't show. So it's a waste of your effort.
Yeah,
Whereas what I was really pushing all of you was that that kind of a viewing that allows you to see images from different angles and different perspectives. So there is a kind of a leveling, and there's an idea of relationship between the figures. So if you can place them in different angles, and you know reclining,
yeah,
moving, that kind of thing, you obviously get the idea. So that was what my
yeah.
suggestion was overall. So you
Okay.
can work on it, and you can let me know, no worries. Okay, so I'll come back after 20 minutes, and you can just start working on your stuff, and then you can get. Okay. Okay, let's see.
Can we just have 5 more minutes?
Yeah, for sure. Let me know when you guys are done.
Definitely not anytime soon.
I just wanted to have a glimpse, and obviously you'll take a lot more time to sort of, modify and all of that. Just wanted to see how it starts. That's it.
Okay, I mean, it's still not anything.
Do you think you'll take more time? Then I can come back after some time also.
Yeah, please.
Okay, no worries. So let's spend about another 20-25 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
I'll come about
Wait,
10.
Professor, could I just show you mine? It's
Ha
really
ha.
tough.
Okay.
Just give me 1 minute, please.
Sure, sure.
So I'm just going to share my screen. Professor, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, wait. I'll just play it again. It's not. Yeah, the video really needs to be edited. It's just about maybe the narrative, if that's something that's understandable or not.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'll need to choose better images, I think, but I just thought if I could use words in between like that to create some kind of a story or narrative, and just combine the different images,
Hmm.
maybe it could like work. But
So Alia, I quite like it. It's going good. I suggest that if you could, can you just record in your own voice some of these words or phrases or something like that, so that it engages the viewer at the, at the audio level also. Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
there is an auditory sensation also comes into, and I think that would be more engaging. And in your recording, maybe you can just bring about a variation of your, sounds, like, the way you sort of express the words, and you can just play around that.
Okay, wait. So if I was to do that, then should I omit the text or should I keep it as well?
No, no, no. Just keep the text as well. Just
Okay.
overlay it with
Yeah.
sound. You know.
Okay.
So more additions basically. Just
Okay.
overlay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good head start. Like it's quite nice. I just feel that missing point. Like that sense of.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's it. I think let's just try doing that. Okay. And also, Ahilia, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Also, I think I don't know, like, but there are lots of apps. Like, you don't need to add special effects everywhere, but there are some apps
There's
which
no
really.
special effect. I just found one. This is just some random app I downloaded just to put them in sequence. They're like no effects, and the images actually look quite bad. Like they don't look good quality in this. So
Hmm.
those ones where the light looks the same because in this it's not.
Hmm. But there are some apps which allow you to edit the videos. Like, you can increase, decrease the contrast, and also you can fade in and fade out. Those effects you can very simple stuff you could do.
Okay, I'll look for some.
Something very neat,
Yeah,
not too like not very like jazzy,
yeah,
but something very simple and something very classy would be nicer.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
would like to.
But I think that you could do later. At the moment,
Yeah.
I just think if you could just record and then try and see how it superimposes and how does it come about, that would be nicer.
Okay, I'll try
Okay.
doing that.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll come back after 20 minutes. I think then it's going to take some time, and let's just see how
Okay.
what level we can reach. Okay.
Okay.
Professor, I've made something. Yeah. Professor, are you there?
Nana, do you think we can have a look at what you've been up to so far?
Oh yeah, Professor, I wanted to share. I don't think you were there when I asked. Okay. I will share my screen.
Sure.
I hope it's this. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I hope the music. I've just put something for now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I've made so far.
I quite like it. It's quite nice. And the sound also, how it goes up and down, and the figure also corresponds. So I like that figure dropping, like the dropping act. It's really interesting. Brings an intersection, like, you know, it's quite interesting. It's quite soothing also, the music. And but what about the poetry?
Yeah, I have to record myself. That will take like a lot of time, and then I have to sit and like, oh, what happened? That will take like a lot of time. So I will just show this much, and then
Huh, ठीक है. So that is coming now, very much.
yeah.
Okay. Naina, just for the format, like just for the technical stuff, like when you're doing the horizontal, it's great because it's widescreen. When you're doing the vertical, what's happening is that it's
It's so
just getting
patla, I
off.
know.
Can we do
I have
something
to.
about?
So it's like some of the ones I can do, some I'll have to re-record everything. So like that'll take time, and I'll set everything up and then set
Hmm.
everything. So
Because then it's squeezing the image too much. Because
some
otherwise,
of the photographs are only like vertical, so there's nothing like they won't fit in. Like
uh,
they're very big,
no,
but
no,
I can
no.
try.
What you can do with images, you can crop them as close as possible. First thing, And second thing is the background. There is an option for the screen, usually black or white. You can choose that so that it blends in the background. I mean, for those that you cannot, if there is no other option available, for just for those.
Right. I might just take new pictures and get a personal dupatta or something and like make my background. Let's see.
Or just stick the images on a white surface, like just take the images on a white surface so that when you're taking a horizontal, it like it covers up the whole thing. Otherwise it looks a little bit very squeezed in and the viewer doesn't get the whole impact of the thing. Just try to, but otherwise it looks really interesting. I mean, I was really like especially that video. I love that figure, bloating up and down. That is really interesting. I simply love that female figure who is reclining and she's doing that exercise. I really like that. It's very quirky. It's really nice. I think that you have some other gifts as well. There are like a few more,
Yeah.
right, which you haven't.
There is the bendy one,
Uh,
and there is the walking one. This one. No, there's only three.
and you guys can repeat like images if you feel like, like I have done that. If you feel like you can take the same image and from a different angle for especially with the cutouts, if you want to do that, you can do that. Because just to make it slightly like, in terms of duration also, I just want you guys to keep at least 5 minutes so that it's substantial, like, durational wise.
5 minutes.
Hmm.
Okay.
You can slow it, like make certain parts into slow motion and then fading and things like that. Some effects and some text also coming up, as we were saying. So that those text needn't have the visual; they could just be text also and things like that. But it's going in a good track. I'm very happy with whatever progress we've made so far. It's like in such a short time, whatever. We've been able to do, and also you guys have more visuals in terms of your visual journal also, those images which you guys have included, those also, and those very studies also, the studies of the hands, feet, and those also could come in. I mean, obviously you'll have to figure that out. They were not made for this kind of a purpose, but just they could be used as interventions, just when you're shifting the screen from one to the other, just very quickly also you can just sandwich them somewhere so that lengthwise also it becomes okay. Do you think you will be able to do some more changes and then we can see whatever progress? Let's make use of the time instead of wasting and then you guys going back. Okay, I'll come back as quick. It's already 11. I'll come back straight away at 11:30 and view whatever has been possible and then we can discuss. Okay. Okay, I'll see you both. Can we have a look at the updated version of your projects? Ahilia, Naina,
Yeah, I'm here.
would you like to share whatever changes you've made so far?
Yeah, just a second. I didn't do that much. I just had it in the audio. I think I really have to like shoot all my pictures again and do it, or maybe do it in black and white, or just something to make it look more standard and like what you said, like classy. Like it just looks a bit like kind of ugly right now. But yeah, I just added
No
some
worry.
audio.
Let's have a look at that first.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be audible actually if I'm sharing it like this.
We can't hear the audio at the moment, but in the sharing option, there's that when you're sharing, there are those small little windows at the bottom.
What?
You have to click on. You have to tick on them. The sound.
Sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying.
I'm saying, does the video have a sound? Because we are not able to hear the sound at the
Yeah,
moment.
there's a sound. That was the addition I made. Can I try sending it maybe in the chat box then or something? Because I don't know if sharing it on my phone like this, you'll be able to hear the audio. And that's the addition I made. So,
Hmm. No, what you can do is you can stop sharing, and when you're sharing, there's that option at the bottom before you say share. You'll see those small little bottoms, those boxes at the bottom. Which
oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
sound.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, got it.
you have to tick on that, and then the sound will be surely like.
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, got it. Hmm. Oh, but it says computer audio. I'm sharing it from my phone. I think that's why I won't be able to. I'll just see if I can send it in the chat box anyway.
Nana, in the meanwhile, while Ahilia is figuring it out, um,
Yeah, one
Yeah,
second.
I think I sent it in the chat box. It's just sending because I don't know how I'll be able to show the audio like this. But yeah, but it's not looking very nice. It's more about the concept, and I'll clean it up if I submit it finally. So it's just sending on the chat.
Ahilia, I think I can't see it in the chat box though.
It's just sending. It's just sending. It's not sent yet.
Okay, okay, great, great. Okay, let's just have it look at. I've seen something. I think let's just have a look at Nana's version, then I'll go back to your stuff. This is so much better, Nana. I really like it.
It's so
Yeah,
beautiful. It looks
yeah,
so nice.
yeah. Really beautiful. It's really nice. I'm just hoping with that those phrases and lines from the poems. I think when you add those also, it'll be like really engaging, really super engaging. So yeah, so
I
far
don't know whether I should add the quotes or whether I should just say them.
I think
Because
if
the
you,
aesthetic
I think
of the quote.
I think your own narration in your voice would be much better with the soundtrack.
Yeah, I was only thinking of that. Like, I was wondering whether I should add pictures of the quotes also or not. Like, I
No,
kind of don't know
no,
what to.
I think that will be like overdoing it.
Yeah,
You don't need it unless and until you could have some slides where they're just phrases or some text, like not the visual. But I think that doesn't look very necessary at the moment. Like,
yeah,
yeah. So I think it would be better if you just record the narration in your voice and then overlay it with the music in the background. So the music becomes much more softer, and then the narration comes in. Yeah, but very impressive. Really looks much better, and yeah, the format also, it's much more horizontal. It's a wide screen format throughout. So mostly, like it's very consistent now. So I really
and
just one image, so vertical है. But otherwise it's ठीक है. मतलब like from the previous version, it's much better technically also. It's much more sound like, and there are not very many technical glitches, so it's quite stable and it's quite nice. Looks very good at the moment. Let's have a. I'm just trying to download.
Yeah, compared to Naina's, mine just looks very like a child's play kind of thing. But I like clean it up. Even the audio I need to record again. It's just yeah, the concept more than the execution right now.
Don't worry, Ayla, please. Don't worry. I'm trying to download. Let's see if I can download and share it. So does this one?
entrance.
Can you do that, Naina? You're technically more sound than me. I don't know.
I'm also, I'm not really, but let's see. It's
It's downloading.
downloading.
Yeah, it's downloading. It's a big file. 6.62 MB. So it's a
I mean, 6 months is quite small actually. Okay, it's done. Let's see if I can open it. What's it called? I forgot.
Video output something.
yeah. It says video output. It's a big name. I see something.
I can't seem to find it. Where did I save it?
Should be near download folder.
Ah, okay, found it. Yeah, found it. Okay. Okay, I can share it. Let me share it.
Please.
Is it this? No, which is the screen? Oof, I can't find the screen now. Okay, I'm just going to share my entire screen. Okay, where is it? Yeah. Can you see?
Yes, but the sound I don't know. We'll have to check for that.
Time to stay indoors, the doctor says. All the doctors say. But the open window betrays that not everyone's voice dies to solitude. Shut up, the window slams. Time to embrace the virtues of boredom, the price of happiness again, after.
Was that gray box in the center? Like, I don't know. I saw it, or does
Oh,
it?
that's not, I don't know why it's showing because it's not showing in mine. That's a mistake.
Ah.
That's
Oh no,
honestly
yeah, that is probably another tab of mine that was probably like the chat box of Zoom was open there probably. That's why.
Could be that.
Okay.
Could be
Could
that.
do I'll replay it.
Yeah, could you please?
Can you see the whole thing now?
Yes, we can.
Time to stay indoors, the doctor says. All the doctors say. But the open window betrays that not everyone's voice dies to solitude. Shut up, the window slams. Time to embrace the virtues of boredom, the price of happiness again, after.
Yes, now I could hear the sound and I could see the whole thing, and there was none of those gray stuff was there, so it was very much clearer. Um, yes, I think the sound is great. Is that your voice? I mean, it looks very different. I'm just curious.
My voice sounds really squeaky when I recorded, and that was just not like the kind of emotion I wanted to use in this video. So my sister was like, "Yo," so I just asked her to say it, and she was like really sleepy and grumpy. So yeah, that's it.
No,
But yeah, I didn't want to use my voice for this.
no, but I think she's got a wonderful voice. I mean, it's quite sonorous. It's quite nice.
Yeah, she sings. So yeah.
Okay, so what I think is, yes, it's much better with the text and the narration now, the recorded version of the text. It's much better with that. I just feel that if there could be some background sounds like some zzz, zzz, those not,
Yeah, because when the voice is not speaking, it's very like
ha,
stagnant and
it's
yeah.
like suddenly it's like the
Yeah.
silence, and then so the brain needs some kind of a continuity, which doesn't have to be very
Oh, Professor, it's 11:40. I have another class.
oh
I have a
great,
makeup class.
no
Okay, no, it's
worries.
fine. Just 2 minutes. Yeah, if you could just continue
Yeah,
giving me the feedback and then
so
I
I
completely forgot.
yeah. So just that I was saying that those kind of random sounds and
Yeah,
sounds, if you could just add in and
yeah,
whatever
I'll do
we
that.
discussed, and if you all you feel the need, you can just ping me up and we can
I
discuss
will.
quickly.
I
Okay.
will.
Okay, see you.
Yeah,
You can just
I
quickly.
will. Thank you so much. This was really fun. I love doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, see you soon. Bye. Take care. Bye. Nena? And I was like, can I leave as well? And I'm like, no,
No, no,
just
no, it's okay. I just have my final exam tomorrow.
no, just 2 minutes and we'll all go. I just really love the video, and you did it so quickly. I'm really surprised. You have a great speed, mostly with all of the assignments also so far, but with this also, I was feeling that like your task is almost done. Like it's almost 75% done. It's just like those little bit
It's
stuff.
not even a minute long. I have so much more to go if you want it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that ways, yeah, but like in terms of the essence and the quality of the stuff that I was expecting, it is very good. Of course, duration and things like that, those you have to work. And like also give yourself credit towards the end, like because I might be sharing all of this stuff with someone, but so I want you all to it's wonderful, really. I do not make overrated statements. I generally encourage all my students, but I do speak the truth. So yeah, so I'm not overrating your stuff, so it's really genuinely good, and I think you should just credit yourself towards the end. And yeah, like whenever you feel like you can just put in some words if you feel like whatever. I don't know, I really like it. I mean, it's very coherent, it's nice, it's very consistent. It's good. It's just that I'm more waiting for you to include those. And can you read out some of the lines from the text? I was just wondering, do you have them?
Let me find it. Where did it go? Okay. I don't know if I can like read very well right now. I will practice and say this. Um, but yeah. So this is a poem by William Blake. But yeah. But in the wine press, the human grapes sing not nor dance. They howl and writhe in shoals of torment, in fierce flames consuming, in chains of iron and in dungeons circled with ceaseless fires, in pits and dens and shades of death, in shapes of torment and woe. The plates and screws and racks and saws and cords and fires and cisterns, the cruel joys of lovers' daughters, lacerating with knives, and whips their victims and the deadly sport of Lava's sons. They dance around the dying and they drink the howl and groan. They catch the shrieks in cups of gold. They hand them to one another. These are the sports of love, and these the sweet delights of amorous play. Tears of the grape, the death sweat of the cluster, the last sigh, of the mild youth who listens to the luring songs of lover. I mean, I don't know whether it'll go. Maybe I can find another poem, but this is kind of the first thing.
No, it's quite nice. It's very relevant to the contemporary situation in a sense that we are all going through this kind of mood swings where there's hope and there's despair at the same time. So yeah. Obviously for the narration you have to you have to go at a slower pace, like for sure you'll have to
I'm
pause.
thinking maybe I will ask my friend. He has like a very deep voice, like those Nelson Mandela kind of voice. I'll maybe ask him, like, please, can you like recite this
Yeah,
poem for me?
that's a good idea. That's a good idea. But do credit him also if you just in case manage to
Yeah,
credit them. Yeah, just tell him you're going to be the limelight and things like that. This video is going to go everywhere in a Shoka community, and people will just be.
that scared him away.
Okay, Nana, let's just see off. I'll see you next week, and I mean, everyone has to present their stuff, the work that you will be creating this entire week. Do let me know if there's something you need to get in touch or you need to ask. You can just, I think the better way is to just text me in WhatsApp, because many times I do not check back my mail, and so it might take a while. Okay. So all the very best for
Okay.
your exams. Do not stress. Please relax. Take a deep breath. Everything is fine. On that note, see you. Bye. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Most welcome. Bye.